our briefing. My name is Scott Rowe. I'm actually coming to you from Chicagoland here in our 10,000 square foot space. Our intentions today with this briefing is to introduce ourselves, explain what we do, share the vision of what's been created and continues to expand around the country, and then as big boys and girls, we all get to decide if it's going to benefit us or not. And for me, obviously, it is a benefit, and for a lot of our staff members you see up there, very much a benefit. But doesn't mean that it's going to be for you. So this is part of our candidate process. There are two types of people on the line with us this afternoon. Most of the folks that find us are looking to either break into real estate investing or take their real estate investing game to the next level using the national resources that we're attached to. That's most of the folks. Now, a few folks on the line here are looking for work. They can really use a check to feed their family. Maybe they're not happy with their current situation and or have hit a ceiling, which I guess would make you not happy. But we have these two opportunities available. So I'm actually doing both. I actually work with this group for checks twice a week and then do real estate. So, okay, so the three-part process that you just began starts with this 15-minute briefing, which has replaced my interviews that I used to do here in my office. Instead of asking you to fly into Chicago with your resume all gussied up, we simply have you open up a laptop, which makes it easy for everybody. So this 15-minute briefing, and then the next step would be a national intro meeting. If you make it past today, 30% of you will not. The national intro meeting will be held tonight, actually, and that's way more detailed. We're actually going over a plan. There's a reason why our staffers make $102,000 a year, and there's a reason why they're controlling properties within 8 to 12 weeks with us if they have never controlled a property in their life using our resources. So we'll be covering that plan tonight. Today, we're just figuring out if this is going to be something you're interested in. And then the last step in this whole process is the follow-up Q&A, which will be at the end of the week here to determine if you're going to be working with us on Monday. And that's really to get your questions answered. So the first two exposures are to help you develop questions. We want to provoke those questions from you. And then by the end of the week here, get those questions answered so that you know that this is the right place for you. Okay? And we have the right person that we're candidating. All right. My name is Scott Rowe. I am a real estate investor. I own 5 companies today. Let me give you the back history. The reason I found this group is because I lost a $212,000 a year job in 2006. Couldn't find another one. So I met a real estate investor who at 35 years old had 92 properties paying rent. I was 38, he was 35. He had a GED. I was number 2 in my curriculum in college. So there was a disparity between our education, but a different disparity between what we were worth. He was worth $2.5 million in cash flow and $24 grand a month. I just got done losing everything, losing my house, my place in South Beach, my European car, lost it all. I lost a lot of dignity. It doesn't take a rock to the head to figure out that maybe I should be punting my football in a different direction. Saw this kid, started thinking, hey, maybe I should do real estate next. And that was my wife and I's goal. And so we started researching different educational platforms because we knew that we shouldn't touch anything unless we knew what we were doing first. We landed here. There's a college out there that teaches real estate investing based on the University of Phoenix platform. It allowed us to move at our own pace through the curriculum, and that was a quick pace for us. And we're not brokers, we're not realtors. I'm not licensed. The realtors and brokers work for me at my open houses on the weekends, so I can go to the beach. But we started by doing properties. In our 3rd month, we made $31,607 on 5 wholesale deals. We did our first fix and flip that year, and then our first rental that year. And today, about 7.5 years later, we have 95 single-family homes, and we have a 22-unit building. We have a 3 6-unit building, so a total of 135 doors that are paying to us right now. So it's been a great run for us. But none of that would have happened had it not been for A, the education, and B, the group that is actually putting on this briefing right now. We are a part of the largest nationwide real estate investing group attached to that education, fortunately so. This is our Chicago office right here. I'm sitting in the meeting room that will hold 200 people. We have 3 other training centers in this building and 12 executive partners, including my wife and I, that are housed here. And we're duplicating this all over the country. So this group and this webinar helps us find talent in cities that we're not in yet. And what it's done is it helps us produce 8 buildings like this around the country in the last couple of years. So it's been a fantastic run for us, and we continue to grow. The question is that going to be you with us on the train? All right, so let me just recap a little bit on my situation. So going from being unemployed, broke, and losing everything to today, we own 5 companies. So instead of looking for work like I was, I give it away. This is me teaching and training a real estate investing workshop. Pretty amazing because I couldn't spell it 8 years ago. This is me on campus and at the college. My wife and I are 2 of 12 advisory board members to that college now. So because of the experience and our ability to teach and train and manage and help other people do the same, we were invited to interview with them and got the nod, so to say. We are also 2 of the most decorated. You see the trophies along the wall back there. 2 of the most decorated real estate investors with the group. So it's been a fantastic run for us. We wake up with a lot more purpose today than we did when we were fighting traffic, that's for sure. But that's us, and now we're going to talk about you. So I'm going to switch my screen to share it. Hang on a second. I'm going to give you an idea. This is the most important part of the webinar for you guys. So let's actually bring that back up. Let me just bring this back up here, just so I know what I'm doing. All right, great. So we are sharing. Okay. So what I'm going to show you next is actually a diagram here. All right. It's something I used to show over my desk in my interviews, and we'll share this with you over the internet. Okay. So when I started, when I wanted to be a real estate investor after meeting that young man, I knew that real estate investing was very risky. So I shouldn't do anything unless I was educated. And that education consisted of moving through a plan, and we have the same plan for our students. So the same thing my wife and I did is something that we move every single one of our students through. We started wholesaling properties because it's quick and easy. I shouldn't say easy. It's quick and simple, and it doesn't require any money or credit. Actually, it's a lot of work. But we started wholesaling properties in our 3rd month. We made a little over 31 grand. Our first fix and flip got us 93 grand happening that year. Last year we did 14 of them. Buy and hold, we had our first buy and hold property in our first year. Today we have 135 doors, and within 2 years we were lending money. So thank God for the education, because there's no way we would have moved at the speed we had we not gotten the lessons and then applied them with the group that we're working with. So this was awesome. So if you're here for real estate investing, you're in for a treat. Now, the other side of the game here is the fact that the college was offering us a licensing agreement to actually enroll students, and this became a lifesaver for us because we had no money. So we actually got on staff and started working on this enrollment side. The college pays us a 45% of gross tuitions for enrollments that we create, plus an additional 15% in overrides just for expanding. So the 2 components created a situation that has helped us expand even through bad times. So the crash of 08 didn't affect us. We make tremendous amounts of money enrolling students, and I'll show you those numbers at the end of this thing. And once we enroll a student, we take them under our wing and help them do real estate. So what was born out of that here in Chicago was the business development group, and today we have more students around the country than we have here in Chicago. So it's basically just a nationwide business development group, and all of that happened because we created a scalable system that could be duplicated, and now is expanding. Okay? And it's still all a work in progress. Okay, next slide here. Hang on a second. All right, so what does that look like? What does expansion look like? Well, we are expanding, and we're constantly recruiting more staffers. We need more people that can shoulder the burden of responsibilities all over the country as we open up these new situations. So that staff is really there to help us facilitate recruiting and enrolling, because in order to continually acquire real estate at the clip that we're acquiring it, we need people recruited to become freshmen so that they can actually, as a liability, get trained up in, fix and flip and buy and hold and everything else. So here's the idea. So you start taking classes. We'll actually designate the classes you should take, so there's no guesswork. Within 8 to 12 weeks, you'll be controlling deals with us. You'll be using resources that we will hand you, like a deal workbook, so we can put eyes on properties for about 5 minutes and determine if they're good. At that point, if the deal is good, then we'll provide the proof of funds, we can provide the earnest money, we can provide the inspection money, all of that. And you're going to use your sweat equity, the SE sweat equity, to help us facilitate that in any state that you're in. And what will happen is we'll make money together. Now, what I'd like to see you do, though, is progress into well-roundedness, which means that we would like to see you do your first fix and flip. When you pull your big check off the closing table for the first time, it is a life changer. It really does. I mean, pulling a big check off the closing table for the first time is like stepping through a door you never thought you'd step through before. It's great. And we actually have resources to facilitate this for you. Our company is now about to be attached to about 3,700 lenders that'll do anything from bridge financing, hard money loans, traditional lending, long-term lending, you name it, even credit card stacking for small businesses. It's great. So we'll help you with this. And then, eventually you want to get to a point where you have not just a retirement plan, but you want to have a nice inheritance for your kids, right? And we help a lot of people do that as well. So we want to see you become well-rounded. We can help you use your current capital in a better way than your financial planner can. And so we're just here to help. That's all. All right, now next step, last slide here that I'm going to write on. So are you here because you're looking for work, or are you here because you're sick and tired of work and you don't want to fight traffic anymore and you want us to help you get it done? Well, we've got both going on. The workforce that we have working with us all over the country is full of sales and marketers that are designing and maintaining ad campaigns for us. And I say that because usually with a sales and marketing background, those individuals, they write copy very well. Now, we also need appointment setters. Now, these are individuals who maybe just act like administrators or secretaries and call people up and put them in front of the public speakers. We need public speakers in front of rooms and cameras. And then from there, we get customer service working on answering the questions for people who need the patience to do so. And then the managers that'll manage the teams and buildings all over the country. So that workforce is a machine that is getting us more and more and more students, right? Those freshman level folks will actually go from being a liability. Then they'll learn wholesaling and do it with us, and then learn fix and flip and we'll help them do it. And they'll learn buy and hold, and we'll have the resources to help them do that, so that you become an asset. And when you're an asset, and I'm not saying you have to, it's not going to take much time. Within 8 to 12 weeks, you're going to be the asset that we're looking for. You'll actually, as a rookie, join us in the senior level investors and doing deals together. The senior level investors, we have 59 around the country, and we've already identified our infrastructure is so deep and so sophisticated that we already know who your senior level investor would be, even if you're here for the first time. So if you don't start with us, didn't work out. If you do start with us, that's already been identified. So we are expanding into other cities all over the country because it's just working. All right, let me finish up the PowerPoint here, and we'll move on. Hey, a couple late folks, 3 of you did not see the beginning of this. Okay. All right. So the next 3 slides that I'm about to share with you are illustrations of how well the machine that I just presented to you is working. Okay. So let me show you that. Okay. And I think it's actually I think it's Adobe Connect that's doing that to me. Done. I have to share this PowerPoint. Okay, so we have ads, right? So we have individuals on our team, our staff, that are actually writing ads for us, and we have this really cool ad that says, "Attention 20-somethings. You do not have to struggle for 30 to 50 years like your parents and end up with nothing. Start working with National Firm today. Be done before you're 30." So we have a 23-year-old and an 18-year-old answer the ad. And these guys right here, they answer the ad, the machine, ready? The ad, then an appointment setter puts them in front of a public speaker. The public speaker does their job. Customer service answers theirs and their parents' questions. They start taking the classes because everybody loves it. They take a class that teaches them how to buy this property for $12,000 from a bank. So the price of a used Toyota, they end up with a house, right? They actually got the $40,000 to fix the house from our group by putting together a plan. So they take a class that teaches them how to put a plan together. When they present the plan to the money says, "You guys got it." So they got $114,955 on this house in their first deal, this check here, and then continued. So that was 2008, right? So it's been a while ago. But now, this kid here is 20, I think he's 28 now, and this kid here might be 24 now. But they've never needed a job after that. They've been doing rental properties, so they got over 50 rental properties today. Okay, another example of what's possible. This guy answered, he wanted to get on one of our fix and flip crews. He's like, "Hey, Scott, I'd like to get on one of your fix and flip crews. I'm a talented carpenter." So I By standard procedure, we had them sit in a meeting, and they sat down in the room here, loved it, and said, okay, so you're telling me I don't need to work on hourly wages, I can actually do real estate with you guys and get big checks. Yes. So his first big check was 133 grand on this house that he fixed. I can't do this, but he's awesome. But he's done plenty since then, and today, 3.5 years later, these guys have 41 properties that pay them rent, so they're doing pretty good. Then my last story here, this is a great story because it's one of a person that was in need of work. 24 years old, Justin Kane came down to the building. He was making 34 grand a year as a band teacher. His wife was an out-of-work English teacher, so they were struggling in a big way. He was looking for summer work, so he just wanted to work 3 months and then go back to teaching because that's what he knew. But he continued to work with us throughout the year, giving us about 3 hours a day. And he made $120,000 working with us on staff that first year, doing part-time work. So he's had a full-time job making 34 grand, and he made 120 grand with us. So he quit the teaching gig. He started working on the real estate in a big way. Today, these kids here at 32 years old, have 122 properties that pay them rent. So it's a great story. I love doing that. Okay, what Justin started doing with us when he started, take a look at this. So this is the work. I'm looking to help people learn how to do this so we can train you up, or I'm looking for people that know how to design and maintain ad campaigns, handle communication, assist live events, handle customer service. Public speaking at a premium right now. We could really use some people in front of rooms in cities around the country. Full-time and part-time available. So remember I talked about Justin doing part-time. Well, the reason he was able to make $120,000 in that first year was because he started getting checks like this from the college, right? So these checks are checks that come to mailboxes to our staff members all over the country twice a week, every Tuesday and Friday. And you know what? Your brain's probably shutting down going, oh, that's too good to be true. You can either look for a good opportunity or a bad one. I'd rather be sitting in a good one. So it's hard to believe, but the checks are coming. This is what I made inside of 2.5 years on the enrollment side of things. So I still do that as well. So that still is cash flow for my wife and I. We've never stopped doing that from the first year. So if you're not making $200,000 a year like we are, and that is not the real estate. So the real estate's completely separate than those. So we're talking about two different things here, right? Okay, the reason that we do these webinars is because we found great talent that we could open up buildings around like this. So keep in mind, the guy in Arizona here, he didn't come to Chicago for an interview. He went to a 15-minute briefing just like you guys are on now. Then he went to the 1 hour and 15-minute intro meeting like you probably should. He went to the follow-up to get his questions answered, started working with us the next week for $102,000. And then that year, and then pretty soon we had a building wrapped around it. So that's how it works, and it's doing great. So that's how we open up situations around the country. It's working, why fix it? Okay, and that's it. That's step one right there, the 15-minute briefing. And here we go, bdg.adobeconnect.com/intro. Get that pen out. Sorry, I didn't warn you. So this is what you're going to write down. The national intro meeting I'm going to be hosting tonight at 7 p.m. Central Time is going to be held on bdg.adobeconnect.com/intro and bdg.adobeconnect.com/intro overflow. So there's 2 rooms. They have 100 seats apiece. There's 32 people on this webinar right now. This is the smallest of the 4 briefings we've done already. We've got 3 more to do. So this is going to be packed. But you'll see it, and then we'll help you understand more. This is going to be the plan. So in this webinar here tonight, we're going to talk about the plan of you guys being able to work with us to make 102 if that's what you're looking for, and then the plan of doing properties within 8 to 12 weeks. Okay, so we're going to lay that out for you. All right. When I end this meeting, here's what's going to happen. When I end the meeting, what should happen based on your browsers might be the issue. This webinar, this page should pop up on your screen. So if it does not, please write this down just for cautious sake. Webinarfollowup.com, webinarfollowup.com, write that down. If it doesn't pop up on your screen, then just go to webinarfollowup.com and you can interact with this page. Now, you're going to let my internal team know. We have no eyes on you right now. There's no reason for us to really care about you unless we want us to care about you. This will get us caring about you. So let us know. Yes, Scott, I want to go to Wednesday's meeting, or I want a recording. I'm all for family. For some reason, you have a family event, Bible study, Cub Scouts, something. Stick with it. That's why we do so much real estate to spend more time with our family. So if you need a recording, let us know. But I want to see you on a live meeting. So the Friday at 10 a.m. or the Monday night at 7 p.m. would be fantastic so that I can interact with you and get all your questions answered live. Cool? So just make sure you're clear about that. All right, folks, as I said already, 30% of you won't make it past this step. I wish you luck. If for some reason you've already determined it's not for you, I wish you luck. If for some reason you think you'd like to make $102,000 this year working with us and control property within 8 to 12 weeks, then please stick with the process and we'll get you that plan. Thanks, folks. Have a great day. On the meeting now.